Hello everyone. Today we're going to check out a new budget magnetic Megaminx from YJ. Let's get right into it. Here it is in its fancy shiny box, and we also get a Cubicle business card. Alright, so inside the box we have a note from TheCubicle. It says this sample has been set up by YJ engineers and should be treated as what the puzzle can potentially feel like when it is set up. The overall quality and potential performance remains the same between this sample and the actual product. So I guess this version was specifically set up prior to the release of the puzzle. Alright, so here is the Megaminx. It's very large actually, and it has a very, very strange pattern on it. We have these little circular discs in here. They're like indentations, or rather the corners have little like bumps out on them for the grip. So let's do some turns. Huh. It's very fast. Yeah, very fast. I like that. The magnetic strength is actually pretty nice. It's probably medium. I can turn really fast on this puzzle, so I don't really feel the magnets too much. They're not that strong, but when you're turning slowly, you can definitely feel them. They feel pretty nice. I really like them. The only other magnetic Megaminx I have to compare to would be the Galaxy V2M. I think the magnets on this Galaxy Megaminx are probably, honestly, they're very similar. They might be the same. They feel like they have a really similar strength to them. If anything, the Galaxies might be a tiny bit stronger. The obvious difference between the two of these is the size. The YuHu V2M is massive compared to this Megaminx. Now, this is a pretty small Megaminx. This is probably more like the size of the V1 or maybe the LM Galaxy. But yeah, this thing is massive. Now, I also do have the original YuHu that came out many years ago. To compare to here. The size is probably around the same as that one. Yeah, it looks like almost the exact same size, plus ridges. I got this puzzle back in 2015, and I think it was okay for the time. I think the Diane was probably the better one out there at the time. This one's a lot nicer. And I don't just say that because it's newer, obviously it's a nicer puzzle. But even to compete with some of the top-end Megaminxes that are out nowadays, I think this has a chance to compete. The ridges really do a great job at helping you with the grip and the turning on this puzzle. It feels like it's not slipping out of my hands, and every layer is really easy to flick. And plus, they designed the ridges to look really neat on the puzzle. The one thing I did notice straight out of the box was the color scheme. You have really bright colors on here, typical of YJ, but compared to this Galaxy, pretty different, especially that green. Wow, it's a lot brighter on this YuHu, and that makes me think, the light green is like the same. There is a really small contrast between the two shades of green on this cube, so it's probably a bit nicer here having such a dark green to contrast with this lime. But at the same time, you know, it looks kind of similar on camera, but I can tell the difference in person. I'm not sure how much of a problem that'll be, but hopefully it'll be okay. The rest of the shades look like they have some pretty good variation in them though. I'm going to scramble this up and work my way through a solve real quick, and we'll see how it goes. I'm warning you now, I never practiced Megaminx. This is probably going to be ugly. I need to practice. I wouldn't say that's any fault of the Megaminxes. I usually average like in the mid 120s, 130s, around there. But the Megaminx was definitely a lot faster than I'm used to, and it kind of took me a while to get used to that. I had a lot of trouble like looking around the cube to find pieces because it felt like I had to turn it a lot farther because the cube was larger than I'm used to. Now obviously I'm making all these comparisons to a Galaxy V2M, which is one of the best magnetic Megaminxes out there, along with the LM and the GAN Megaminx. So in comparison to those, it's probably not as good. But you gotta recognize that this is $13. $13. The next cheapest magnetic Megaminx out there is the MGC, and that one's $23. So this is $10 cheaper than the second cheapest magnetic Megaminx, and the performance on this thing is really amazing for the price. The speed is amazing, I can turn super fast, and it's still easy to control because of those snappy magnets. It's really nice. Either way, that's basically all I have to say for my first impressions of this YJ Magnetic YuHu V2M. I think it's a really good deal. It's a very high performer for a low price, and it's a great beginner Megaminx. I'd like to give a huge thank you to TheCubicle for sending me this puzzle to test out. If you'd like to buy one for yourself, I'll have a link in the description below so you can check it out on their store. Either way, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.